Hey all, you might remember me from such sessions as Get Your Google On and Live Long and Chrome On. Today we're going to look at Level 2, Practice Using Google Forms. So the first step is going to be creating a form. So you first choose the folder that you want to put the form in, and you launch a new form. Once the form loads up, we're going to be looking at question types, titling your form, and writing a description for it. Your task in this level is to create 4 different question types. The first step is you're going to give your form a title. In this case, I'm going to call it Practice with Forms. Okay, so when you look at the page, you see a couple things. You see questions and responses, which we'll get to in a moment. The next step is you add a description. So for this, I'm just calling it Practice, but you could give it any title you want when you're working with students and you want to give them further information. The first question that we're going to look at is short answer. So for example, I may say something like, how comfortable are you at using Google Forms? To spell Google right. And then my students will answer in here. After, when you've typed all your questions, you can look at a preview here, but we'll wait until we're finished our questions first. Okay, so that's my first question. Next, I'm going to press Add a Question. And the next one we're going to look at is a paragraph. So for this one, this is for your longer responses. So for this one, I might say, tell me your life story. The next question we're going to look at is multiple choice. And for this, I may say something like, how likely are you to use Google Forms with your students? Option 1 is something like likely. Option 2, maybe. And option 3, not likely. The next question we're going to look at is checkboxes. Okay, and checkboxes are when you want your students to be able to choose more than one. So I may say something like, check all that apply. And option 1 might be something like, yes, no, maybe, sometimes. With whatever your question is, you'll see in a moment how the form will look. Finally, the last one we're going to look at is a drop-down. And this is a variation on multiple choice, typically used for shorter type questions. So I might say something like, when is, or what month is your birthday? And the options, April, May, June, etc., all the way down through if I was going to have the 12 months. Okay, so now let's have a quick look at the form that I've built. So to look at it, I go Preview. And now I can see what my form will look like. And I can also practice answering it as well. Now, if I was to answer it, just to give you an idea of what some of the answers will look like, you can see. And I'm going to submit my responses. Okay, so now my form has been submitted. If I go back to my practice form and I look at responses, I can see here a summary of my responses. And if I had more, I could see individual responses. Okay. Now, if I want to put those in a sheet, I click on the green button and I create a new spreadsheet. What pops up is a new spreadsheet with all of the student answers in it. And as you can see, it looks kind of messy and kind of jumbly. To see graphs, you can click on Form, Show Summary of Responses, and this is where you can get your graphs again to look at. So that is a quick look at using Google Forms in this level. Thanks for watching. Your task now is in the instructions, and you will complete a form with 4 different question types, preferably within your subject area, but it doesn't have to be. Thanks for watching.